Wow, I never knew Bowser used to be a rocker back in the day.
Peaches, 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 peaches. Ah! Oh, yeah! Oh! Mario, Luigi, and a Donkey Kong too.
I guess you could say he's about to rock his world.
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host here, Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for today. This one's going to be doing another video, this one's another movie review. This one is for School of Rock from 2003.
Alright guys, this one's going to be doing another review today, this one's going to be doing another review for today, this one's going to be doing another movie review, this one is for School of Rock from 2003. So, this one is a very popular movie. This is another movie that I definitely wanted to cover. I actually had a rewatch of this movie yesterday, and I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and reintroduce Movie Mondays with this movie, and we will be doing the Batman review as well. That's going to be coming up tomorrow. We finally have time to get back into these movie reviews properly, but this movie is one of my all-time favorites. This one would definitely rank in a top 10 favorite comedy movies of all time. This one stars Jack Black, and this is basically his, what I would call his major introduction to his career. This movie made this guy blow up. And basically the premise of this movie is it's about a guy that is pretty much a lowlife. He is playing for some, random ass band that's rocking out in bars and stuff like that. And he's not doing so well. He's late with his rent. He's mooching off of one of his friends, Schneebly, and his crazy girlfriend who just is absolutely insane. She's very demanding. She's, very, she's not a very nice person. Patty, not a very nice person at all. And anyway, he's basically trying to, get the rent's month before they kick his ass out because he's been mooching off of his best friend, Schneebly, for a long time. But, his girlfriend's now kind of getting the upper hand of things. And she's like, well, if you don't give a certain amount of money by this certain amount of time, then you're out of here, And, yeah, she definitely wears the pants in this relationship, let's put it that way. But anyway, you got Dewey Finn, who's the character that Jack Black plays, basically. He goes there to try to get some extra money. He's like, well, maybe we got to try this type of music. And basically the band votes to kick him out. So he gets pissed off. You get a very iconic line where he looks at them and he's just like, yeah, you know what? Read between the lines, Theo. Read between the lines, And he's just like, well, you know what? I don't need to be with you guys anyway. I'm going to form my own band and we're going to be better than you guys anyway, And he kicks a friggin' cymbal down or whatever and he's like getting ready to fight, And he's like, I feel sorry for you guys, right? So he tries everything. He tries to sell his guitar. He tries to do everything he can to get money. And then he gets a phone call, but it's not for him. It's for his best friend, Schneebly, right? But Schneebly is not home. He's off God knows where, probably teaching or something, And anyway, the phone goes off, and he gets this information from this principal of this school that one of their teachers was, I think, that she was either in a car accident or something, and she broke her leg, so she's going to be gone for a little while, and they need a substitute as soon as possible, right? So they're kind of having a little bit of an emergency, and she basically tells, Dewey over the phone. She's just like, yeah, we pay our substitutes $6.50 a week. Now, can you get me to, Mr. Schneebly, And anyway, he sits there at first, and he's just like, yeah, I think I see him coming right now. And he's just like, Ned, phone, And he's absolutely bullshit. And he messes the phone around, makes it sound like they're processing the call, and then he friggin' puts the phone back up to his ear, and he's like, hello, this is Ned Schneebly. So he acts like he's him. He completely just absolutely bullshits this school, makes everybody think that he's his best friend who's a substitute teacher. He goes in there, pretends to be him just to get some money, because he got kicked out of the band. And he cleans up and stuff like that. He walks in there. And anyway, he goes in there and it's a friggin' wreck. I mean, he can't even write his name correctly on the board. He's like, Mr. Schneebly. You know what? Why don't you just call me Mr. S, okay? And anyway, he goes in there. He's basically just, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm a teacher. I'll do just fine. She's like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. And, she asks him, do you have any questions? And he's like, yeah, when's the lunch? The children just had their lunch. Is there anything else you need? And he's like, well, I'm a teacher. All I need is mine for moldings, And as soon as the principal leaves, he's just like, okay, who's got food in here? You know, he doesn't even care about teaching. He's like, you're not going to get in trouble. I'm hungry. Okay. And he goes to one of the students that raises her hand, Tamika, right? And he's just like, yeah, you, what do you got? You know, he takes the rest of her sandwich and he's like, okay, all right, teach. Okay. So here's the deal. And he's like, I got a hangover. Who knows what that means? And one of the kids like, doesn't that mean you're drunk? And he's like, no, it means I was drunk yesterday. And then you got the drummer, and he's just like, yeah, it means you're an alcoholic. And he's like, wrong. And he's like, you wouldn't show up here if you were an alcoholic like that. And he's like, dude, you got a disease. And he's like, what's your name? Freddie Jones. Freddie Jones, shut up! And he completely just takes ownership of the class. He rips the darn, paper that's like their like calendar or whatever. He's like, no math, no classes, whatever. We're gonna have recess all the time, And for a few days, that's what he does. He just lets the kids do whatever the hell they want, Until one day he catches one of them in music class playing all these instruments, and then his inner rock passion comes in there. He sneaks in a whole bunch of his like equipment inside of the class. And he gets a whole bunch of these kids to become his band, essentially, right? He gets Zach to play the guitar for him, which he's really good at the guitar. You've got Lawrence, who plays like the keyboards and stuff like that. You've got the other girl, I forget her name, but the bass player, right? And then you've also got the kid, Freddie Jones, Freddie Jones, I will also make a bit of a side note. It's pretty sad. I know that the actor in real life passed away. Couple years ago. Yeah, that's really sad to hear. But anyway, he was like the drummer, so he's the drummer. You got Lawrence on the keyboard, you got Zach, and then you got Katie, that's her name, the girl with the bass. And then you've got Dewey, right? And he's like sitting there in front of all of them, and he's like getting them to all play this song at the same time. And then as soon as they're ready to go, he's like, all right, let's go! He starts playing the guitar. He's absolutely insane. He's like the most crazy out there rocker you'll ever see in your life. And the rest of them are just like, what are we supposed to do? And he's like, okay, well, we need backup singers who can sing. He gets a few of them to sing, and then the one in particular, the perfect student, Summer, right? The chick who plays iCarly, she's like sitting there, and she's just like, yeah, no, I can sing too. She sings horribly, and he's just like, okay, after lunch, I'll sign you all up for some killer positions, right? I'll get you all, working and stuff like that, part of the band and all that type of stuff. And you actually get a pretty cool interaction between Lawrence and Dewey, right? Where he talks about how like no one ever really talks to him and stuff like that. He gives him like a cool handshake, and he kind of reassures him, that he's a cool kid. So yeah, I thought that was cool. I like how they give like Dewey like those nice heartfelt moments, and then he's absolutely crazy 2 seconds later. So that it's a good mix, Anyway, it's really cool. They all get assigned their jobs. One of them that Summer's not happy with is that she's a groupie, and she gets I guess Mr. Schneebly or Dewey to change that because she doesn't want to be a slut. She doesn't want to be a slut that sleeps with the band, right? So she becomes band manager, which is really cool. Yeah. So I love Summer. She was actually a really fun character. I liked her, and I liked Lawrence. Zach was another cool one because we kind of learned about his dad in this one, how his dad's kind of like a controlling rich parent type, who's kind of controlling every little move he's doing, and that's why, when he's playing guitar, the kid's kind of like just kind of stiff, and Dewey kind of helps him out with that as well too. So he's got a bit of a jackass for a dad, not gonna lie. Anyway, it's pretty cool. And this movie just gets better. I mean, you get through all this stuff. They're playing their instruments. You got all these montages to go through. A lot of good stuff, and they set it up pretty well because there's even one part where they try to go to the Battle of the Bands, right? Which is cool because they're trying to, do a killer show. And you've got the security or whatever that makes it sound like Dewey is teaching, so that when Miss Mullins, is going down the hallway, it sounds like they're like he's teaching a class, so she keeps walking. But it's like, bro, they even recorded him teaching a class so that they could go ahead and do this, But anyway, at the Battle of the Bands, you got one moment where you got Tamika, right? And she's like a big singer, right? And she gets kind of afraid, and she says that the reason why she's kind of afraid to do it is because she's fat, is what she says, which, that it's sad too, because a lot of people have that issue, which is ridiculous. It doesn't matter what, how the weight you are or what you are, that doesn't matter, And I like that the movie kind of gives you that part as well too, kind of tells you. And, even Dewey's like, who else has a weight issue? Me. And he's like, as soon as I get out there and I get rocking, people worship me, because I'm sexy. Freaking Jack Black. But anyway, you've got a scene where the drummer, Freddie Jones, he goes out there to, like, hang out with some, like, guys in, like, their van and stuff like that. And it goes really wrong. Like, he's like, Freddie, like, where are you? This is your teacher talking, And he goes up to these guys and he's just like, hey, man, you think that's cool, partying with an innocent little kid? He's just like, yeah, no, like, you're not cool at all. And he's like, dude, we're just chilling. He's like, that kid looks up to you and you're setting a bad example. So get your head out of your ass and start acting like a responsible adult, And he's like, that goes for all of you. Don't make me come back here. He points at him for like a long amount of time. I'm like, oh my god, man. But anyway, he gets turned down by the Battle of the Bands, and then he has to make up this story that the kids are dying from a disease called stick it to the mun, which is a funny reference because he talks about stick it to the man all the time, so they kind of tie that one in. But they get it. They get the gig and stuff like that. Now they just got to prepare for it and stuff like that. And, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And then, you get the rest of the movie. You get one scene where you get Jack Black's character, Dewey Finn, that goes out with the principal to convince her to do a trip outside of school and stuff like that. He gets her hammered, basically. And even a little bit of knowledge on the principal, too. Like, we actually find out that she used to be fun. She used to be, cool and stuff. But she can't be because she's the principal, and everybody looks at her as like the the enemy, right? So I thought that was cool too. They give, as funny and crazy as this movie is, they give you little character lores, like with Zach and his dad, and then the principal. You kind of start to feel bad for her a little bit. It's actually cool the way they do it. Like, it's so insane. The movie is insane, but they make you connect with the characters too, and that's something I really like. But yeah, so then we get Parents' Night, which is just, oh my god, yeah, probably one of the most iconic quotes of the whole movie. He goes in there, completely lies to the parents. He talks about them on how amazing their kids are, right? But then you got the police officer that's out there, and, you get the scene where his best friend, Schneebly, finds out what Dewey's been doing, pretending to be him, and taking his money, and then the police show up, it's a big deal, and then, basically, you got Dewey Finn that's like, all right, look, officer, before you take me away, like, let me say a few things about these kids. They're amazing. They're great kids. And then what's the last thing he says? I have been touched by your kids, and I'm pretty sure I've touched them, And it's like, oh my god, dude, no. Like, that came out so horribly, And then the parents freak out. He takes his guitars. He friggin', just leaves. And, he gets kicked out, basically. He gets removed. So you get a scene where they're not really sure what to do now. They're acting like, oh, like, did he really just waste our time with all these weeks of making music and stuff like that? And we find out that, no, they didn't. They actually go to his apartment. They get him for this gig, and the kids sneak out, and basically you've got the concert that goes down. The parents are freaking out because they don't know where the hell the kids are. The principal is trying to track them down with the parents by her side. And, you get the final act of the movie where they perform the show. They do Zach's song, which is really good because it's one that he came up with himself. And they play that one for the audience, and everybody loves it, It's really good, and I love the final act because they all come together and perform this kick-ass show at the end. And you've got No Fakinson, I think, right? I think that's what they're called. And it's like, they're the ones that win the show at the end, but the audience completely boos them and stuff like that. And basically, you got them to go out and do an encore at the end, which I think was pretty cool. But I like it because the movie sends out a message. It's not about winning. It's about just, doing a kick-ass show, which is really cool. It's not about winning all the time. You can be winners, but still be losers, if that makes any sense, But, yeah, it's pretty cool. And then you got this, like, happy ending where you find out that he has this, like, after-school program that they gave him now where he plays music with these kids and stuff like that after school. And that's basically what the movie ends like. So it's pretty amazing, man. I gotta tell you, the movie has instant charisma. It's absolutely flawless with its charisma. I absolutely love it so much. Jack Black, this is his best role, 100%. I loved him in this movie. And I'm sure you guys can tell how much I like the movie on how long this review is. But it's such a good movie. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you guys think about School of Rock? Have you also heard about the sequel as well? It sounds like Jack Black may want to come back to do a sequel. I'd be down for it. I'd love to see it. and we will definitely review it. If they ever decide to do a sequel, we'll definitely cover it here on the channel. So let me know your thoughts on School of Rock. Great movie, great childhood movie for me. I loved it, and I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I thought it was absolute perfection. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click to subscribe and tune up to any of the videos for Movie Mondays. More Movie Monday reviews coming soon. Again, make sure to stay tuned for the Batman coming up tomorrow. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.